Hello students, welcome back. So till now we have studied about HTML and now I'm going to teach you CSS, that is cascading style sheets. Now what are the contents that we will study today is what is CSS, what are the different rules that we need to create a CSS, how we will inbuild our CSS into HTML, and what is CSS box model. Okay. So let me introduce you what is CSS. As you know, the full form is cascading style sheets. So actually till now you have studied how to create a web page, and when you are creating a web page, you know how you will add the content in a web page. Okay, with the help of HTML. You have studied HTML. You have studied various tags about HTML, so you know how to add content in a HTML or in a web page. Okay, so basically HTML simply add text to a web page, but if you want to change the look and feel of the web page, if I want to change the background, if I want to change the foreground, if I want to give some animations, or if I want to beautify our web page or change the look and feel of our web page, we have to use CSS. So basically CSS was used to define how to display our HTML elements. Okay, suppose I'm writing a heading. Okay, so if I want to change the background color or the foreground color, we will use it with the help of CSS. Okay, so we can say basically CSS was used to define how HTML elements will be presented. Okay, so now if I am creating a file, if I am creating a web page, then I will save it with .html. Now if I am creating a CSS file, I will save it with the help of .css extension. We can save our file with the help of .css extension. So now CSS also defines how HTML elements are to be displayed, and all the web browsers currently still we have used support CSS. Okay, again style sheets enable you to change the appearance and layout of all the pages in a website. Okay, if I want to change the appearance, I want to change the look and feel of any web page, we have to do it with the help of CSS. Okay, so what is CSS? CSS is basically used to display the HTML elements. It is used to show how our web page will be looking. In a very nutshell, you can say CSS is basically used to change the look and feel of our web page. Okay, coming to next. Now since we have to generate our CSS, we have to create CSS. So as I have said, when we create CSS, it basically changes the look and feel of our HTML elements or of our web page. So there are basic rules with the help of which you can create a CSS. So the basic rules for creating a CSS are: the syntax that you will be using to create our CSS will be selector, bracket open, curly bracket open, property, colon, value, semicolon, and bracket will be closed. Now what is selector? For each every point is described here. What is selector? Selector will be an HTML element. Suppose I am writing a paragraph, that is P. Now if I want to change give some look and feel to a paragraph, I will then paragraph will be said as a selector. Selector, what is selector? Selector is HTML element to which CSS rule is applied. Okay, on any selector can be said as any HTML element in which we want to apply some rule. Okay, now what is property? Property specifies the attribute that you want to change corresponding to the selector. Means suppose I want to change the color. So if I am writing here color, that means if I am writing color over here, it means I am showing color over here. It means I am saying that this is the property. Okay, now what is value? Value can be said as, now what is value? We can say value as which value I am giving. Suppose I am writing color colon red. That means red is the value and property is color. Okay. Now listen. So I guess you are clear what is selector. Selector means any HTML property. If I am writing H1, that means this is your selector. Okay. Property means suppose I am writing color. That means if I am writing color, that means this is the property. Suppose I am writing value is equal to red. That means this is my value. So this is the basic syntax to write HTML, to write CSS. Selector, property and value. Let me erase it. Okay. So I guess I am clear with the CSS rule. The general syntax of CSS is selector, curly bracket open, property, colon, value, semicolon and ends with a curly bracket. Is that clear? Each declaration, if I am saying about complete, this is your declaration. Property and value must be always separated by a colon, and each declaration, if I am writing many declaration, then this is the semicolon. If I want to change the color, if I want to change the style, if I want to change many things, then we will separate it with the help of semicolon. And property and value is said to be as a declaration. Okay. Now this is what I was telling, that selector bracket open, property colon value and ends with a semicolon, curly bracket close. This is your CSS syntax. Now come moving forward, we'll see some example. Now see what I have said in the previous slide, that what are the CSS rule. Now this is a CSS that you have created. Okay. Now in this you are writing P, that means this is your selector. Now you are writing color, that means this is your property. If you are writing red, that means this is your value. This is what I was telling, that if I am writing a CSS property, that means if I am writing color P, that is your HTML element, this is your HTML element, and if I am writing color, that means it is my, it means that it is my property. If I am writing red, that means it is my value. Am I clear? Okay. Now coming to next example. In the next example you can see, you have written here three things. Okay. In the three things you can see H1. What is H1? As I have already mentioned, H1 is the selector. What is selector? Selector means on which element, HTML element I want to apply the CSS, it will be considered as selector. Okay. Now if I am saying I want to change two different styles. Suppose I want to change color as well as I want to change the font style. So these are two different declarations, and as already mentioned, these declarations can be separated by a semicolon. This is semicolon. So if I want to declare two or more properties, I can declare it, but with the help of a semicolon. Okay. And this is your property, this is your value. So on H1 HTML element, the color of the H1 will be green and the font style will be italic. Is that clear? Now next is, suppose next you can see it is body. If I want to apply on the whole body, I will write body, again bracket open. This is your one declaration, this is your second declaration, and this is your third declaration. You can see very clearly that all these are separated with the help of a semicolon. So multiple declarations can be done, but we have to separate it with the help of a semicolon. Is that clear? So this is your basic rule for writing a CSS. That is HTML element, then curly bracket HTML element, then curly bracket open, property, then colon, value, ends with a semicolon, and it will end with a curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Okay. This is your rule to write a CSS. Now you can easily see over here what I have written in this slide. See, again this body is what? It is a selector, bracket open, then You are writing the declaration block. In the declaration block, there is always a property and a value. So this is your first property, and the value of first property is this. Then this is your second property, this is your third property, and this is your fourth property. And all are separated by a semicolon. You can easily see that all these properties are separated by semicolon. Is that clear? So this is the rule with the help of which you can write your CSS rules: selector, property, and value. Now coming to CSS. If I am saying about CSS, there are three different type of selectors. One is CSS element selector, then we have CSS ID selector, and then we have CSS class selector. So we'll look one by one. Okay, now see. I guess you all must be remembering about HTML and how to create a HTML page. Now suppose if I want to apply CSS on a single element, suppose I have two paragraphs. See, I have written one paragraph here, and then one paragraph here, and one paragraph here. Okay, now I am writing three different paragraphs. Okay, now how you will write a CSS, you can see. Just start with your HTML head. Now the tag that you will use for creating a CSS will be style tag. Okay, now in the style tag, how you have declared, see, this is P, that means this is the element, this is the HTML element in which you want to apply CSS. Okay, now what is this? This is your declaration block. Again, this is your declaration block, and these both blocks are separated with the help of a semicolon. Okay, now see, what is this? This is your property, that is text align colon center. Center means this is your value. Again, this is your property, this is your property, and this is your value. Is that clear? Now how you have written it? P, this is your CSS. Okay, and you have to, now since you on which HTML you have written it, you have written it on P, that is paragraph. Now if you have to change, this is your style. So what you are studying is element selector. If we have selected an element, this style will be applied to all the elements present in your HTML page. Okay, in which HTML document you are writing, and you have written P, and you have selected an element, so that means all the changes will be reflected in each and every element of that web page, of that page. If suppose you are writing P, then it will be the changes will be applied to all the paragraphs that you have written in your HTML page. Okay, now see, you have written style, and then this text align center color red. Okay, now you have written three different paragraphs, this paragraph, this paragraph, and this paragraph. Here you have closed your style. Okay, then you have closed your head tag. Now in the body tag, different three paragraphs you have written. Now when you will see the output, the changes that you will see, that in each, suppose this is your first paragraph, that this is your output. Now in this paragraph, you can see that in the first paragraph, every paragraph will be affected by the style. Text align was center and color was red, so it is in the center and color is red. In the second paragraph, you have written me too, that means it will be applied in this also. Okay, and in the third paragraph also. So these are the changes that you will see in both the paragraph. I guess this is written wrong, it's not required to see, I'm sorry. Okay, so if you write like this, that is here also the changes you can see, and in this, that means if you are selecting a specific element on the web page, it will be reflected on every HTML web element, on HTML element. If I am writing P, that means all the changes will be seen in all the paragraphs that you have written. Okay, now second is ID selector. Now how you will write ID selector? Previous one was element selector. If you are selecting an element, then all the elements present in that web page will have the same look and feel. Now if you are writing ID selector, suppose there are different paragraphs in your web page, and you want to give changes to only some paragraphs, you want to get change only some paragraph and you don't want to change all the paragraph, so you will use id. Now see how you will be doing it. Listen, this is your HTML web page, doc type, HTML head. In the head, then you have to write the style. You have to declare your CSS. Again, you will write first will be your element, then your first will be your element, then your declaration blocks. Okay. Now see how you will see how you will check it. In the you are writing here hash para 1 bracket open text line center color red and you have closed your bracket and then you have closed your style, you have closed your head tag. Okay, I guess I'm clear over here. Now you are writing body and your body tag is closed over here. Now see what you have to look carefully over here. You are writing two different paragraphs. In the first paragraph you can see you have written p id is equal to para 1. Now what means over here that only this paragraph will be affected by this style. Okay, whatever paragraphs you are adding over here only, and when you are writing id is equal to para 1, that means it will copy all the styles that you have written in the style sheet. Is that clear? Now, the second paragraph you are simply writing P. This paragraph is not affected by the style. That means since you have not used ID in this paragraph, that means this paragraph will not be affected by this style sheet. Okay, let's have a look at the output. Now see. Just a second. Now see. Since for this paragraph you have used hello world, okay, and this has used the id is equal to para 1, that means this css will have effect on which paragraph? On this paragraph. So this paragraph is affected and the first output that you are getting is hello world. Okay, now there is second paragraph. In the second paragraph you have written this paragraph is not affected by the style and you have not used any id over here, so this paragraph will not be affected by the css id. Okay, okay class. Now listen, now till now you have studied two types of css. One was element selector. When I am selecting an element, just a second, when I am selecting an element, that means the if I am selecting an element, that means all that elements that are present in the HTML page. Suppose P I am writing here, all the P elements in this body tag will be affected by this style. Okay. When I am writing ID selector, that means on which respective on which that means on which respective element I have selected the paragraph, the id, only that will be affected, rest will not be affected, as you can see over here. Okay, now moving to next slide, class selector. The third feature that comes is class selector. In the class selector what you have to write is the whole web page will be created in the same way, doc type, HTML head, then in the style what you will be writing, suppose I am using center. Okay, then this is your name of the class selector. It should be have some specific names, so I am writing dot with the help of a dot and dot selector name. Okay, dot center. Okay, and then I am writing text align is equal to center, color is equal to red. Okay, now what you will be seeing over here. Now when I am applying this in the body tag, I have two different things. One is heading and one is paragraph. So in the heading tag, what changes we have? I am seeing h1 class is equal to center. That means this heading will be affected by this style sheet. Whatever styles I have mentioned over here will be affected. Okay. When I am writing P class is equal to center, that means this HTML element, that is paragraph element tag, will also be affected by this style sheet. Now let's have a look at the output. See. For the heading tag, I am getting red and center align heading. Okay. Since in the I have used h1 class is equal to center. Okay. Now for the P also I am getting red and center align paragraph. Since in the paragraph also I have used center class selector. Okay. So this way we can use the class selectors. I guess I am clear. Now see, till now you have studied three different types of selector. One was element selector, second was ID selector, third was class selector. When I am saying about element selector, that means if I am selecting an element, all the elements in the web page will be changed. Okay. If I am saying about ID selector, that means on which I am writing ID is equal to this. Since I am writing ID is equal to this, so this ID will be selected and it will have the changes. If I am writing class, in the class when I am writing h1 class is equal to center, that means all the in the heading tag h1 tag it will use the property of dot center. So these are different types of selector that we have used till now. Okay. Now come moving to next. So till now you have studied what is CSS, what are the different CSS rules, and then you have studied what are the different, how you will change, what are the different selectors, different type of selectors. One was element selector, ID selector, and class selector. Now next most important thing that comes, how you will embed this CSS into your HTML page. Okay. So you have to embed this as CSS. You have to put this style into your HTML page. So how you will be putting? So basically we have three different ways of inserting a style sheet. First is external style sheet, then internal style sheet, and inline style sheet. So different ways to embed our CSS into HTML are external style sheet, internal style sheet, and inline style sheet. If I am saying about external style sheet, it means external style sheet means we are writing a CSS page in one page in one notepad, and then we are writing the HTML page in one, and then we are linking them both. Okay. In the internal style sheet, it means we are writing the same CSS and the HTML in the same notepad in the same page. Okay. If I'm writing inline style sheet, it means I am using style as an attribute and applying it to the respective HTML elements. Okay. Now coming to external style sheet. What is external style sheet? I can say with, if I'm writing an external style sheet, now that style sheet can be used to change the look of the entire website. Okay. Now suppose I have written one style sheet page. Okay. And now I have imported it in my HTML page. Okay. Now see how you will be doing it. And with the help of link tag, I will embed my CSS file into HTML tag. Okay. Now let's see how you will be doing it. See here. I have written one HTML page. Now this is a link. Okay. Just see. Link rel is equal to style sheet, type is equal to text slash css, and then href is equal to my style.css, and in the body you are writing your HTML contents. Okay. Now see how you will write your CSS page. Now what you have to do, you have to save this one with the help of .html tag. Okay. Now how you will create your CSS file. Open your notepad and then write like this. Suppose these are the tags you want to. Suppose this, you want to, on the body you want to apply the background color, and then on the heading you want to apply color, and margin left will be 20 pixel. Okay. These are the rules. Now open your notepad, write this content. After writing this content, you have to save this file as, after writing this content you have to save this file as .css. Okay. Anything by .css, not anything, that the name will be my style.css. Okay. In this way you have to write. After writing, what you have to do, just save your file with the name my style.css. Then create your notepad, open your notepad again, and write your HTML document. How you will write your HTML document? You will be writing HTML, then see what is most important, how you will link it. To link an external CSS file in your HTML, you will be writing link rel is equal to style sheet. Okay. Type is equal to text slash css, and href you, as I have told you in HTML, that if you want to link two different pages, how you will link, you will be using href is equal to my style.css. This is your path of where your CSS file has been stored. Am I clear? So in this way you have to link your CSS file, this CSS file into your HTML page. Okay. Just look once again. HTML in the link rel is equal to style sheet. Type is equal to text slash css. href is equal to mystyle.css. In this way, you can link this HTML, this CSS page. This is your CSS page in your HTML page. Now, what output you are expecting? That all the heading, since you have applied on the heading, you have not applied on the paragraph, so heading will come in navy color and it will be shifted to left to 20 pixels, and the background must be, since you have applied it on the body, the background must be in light blue. Let's see on the output. See, this is how you will be getting your output. Now, by seeing the output, you must be clear that the body background color has been changed to light blue, the heading has been changed to navy, and it has been shifted to 20 pixels over here. Okay, and this is your paragraph. On paragraph, no CSS has been applied because you have not written any CSS property or any CSS values to this paragraph. So this paragraph has not used any of the CSS property. Okay, so I guess I am clear with all my external style sheet. External style sheet means when you are writing a CSS page on a different place and saving it with .css extension, and then you are linking that CSS file with your HTML element, it will be called as external style sheet. Okay, since we can say this is reusable, suppose in this same format I want to use it in my different web page, so again I can use it with the help of, again I can use this web page in some other web page, this file .css file in some other web page also. Okay, now coming to, this was external style sheet. Now coming to internal style sheet. Now coming to internal style sheet. In internal style sheet, you can see if I am writing our style sheet in the same HTML web page, in the HTML page, then I can say it as an internal style sheet. Okay, that means if I am adding the CSS page, CSS, all the CSS styles in the HTML page, then we can say that this is your internal style sheet. Let's see with the help of your program. See, now you have written in the HTML section, in the head section, you have written your web style. You have written your CSS. That is in the head. Then you have written style, body. This is your one selector, one of your CSS. That is on the body. You have applied background color linen, and then you have closed it. On the heading, you have applied color maroon. Margin left will be 40 pixels. So you have applied on two different elements. One is on the whole body of the web page, and then on the heading. Okay, so two different styles you have applied. Okay, so you will write this in the head section of the HTML page. Just since both the CSS and the HTML contents are written in the single page, then we can say that it is your internal style sheet. Okay, then you will close your head tag. After that, in the body tag, you will write your content, and then your HTML tag will be closed. Now let's see the output. Now, what output you will be seeing? That on the whole background, on the whole web page, the background color will be changed, and on the heading page, only the heading will be changed to the color maroon, since you have written, since you have used your HTML element and you have used color maroon, and on the paragraph, no changes will be applied since you have not applied any CSS on the paragraph. Let's see the output. So see, this is how you will be getting your output. That is, in the style you have written background will be linen, so background color has been changed. Then this is heading. The heading has been changed to maroon and shifted to, the heading has been changed to maroon and shifted to 40 pixels, and then the paragraph has no changes of CSS. So this is your internal style sheet. Internal style sheet means if I am writing my CSS styles and my HTML content in single page, then I can say that it is my internal style sheet. And you can see the output over here. Both are written on the same page, and it will be, and in the head section only we will write my style, my CSS style. Okay, I guess I am clear. So till now I have taught you two different style sheet. One is external style sheet. In the external style sheet, I can say that CSS, we have different CSS file, and then we will link my CSS file in my HTML page. If I am saying about internal style sheet, in that I can say I will be using my I will be using the CSS web in the in the HTML page. My CSS will also be written, but it will be written in the head section of my HTML. Okay, I guess I'm clear. Now coming to CSS inline. Okay, if I'm saying about CSS inline, it means if I want to apply a specific CSS to any specific HTML element. Okay, so we'll use inline. That means inline may be used to apply a unique style for a single element. If I want to apply only on heading, so I will use my style as an attribute in the heading only. If okay, if so, it's always preferred to use if I want to use only a single element. So there is no need to write an external CSS file and then linking it and then you are using. So it will obviously a time taking process. If I want to change the whole background, whole web page content, so I will make a single CSS file and then I will link it with my HTML page. But if I have to use only on a single HTML element, I will be using inline style sheet. Let's see. Suppose I am applying. Now see over here. I guess you will be clear. Now see, I have written over here. In the previous section, you have studied in the internal style sheet that our styles will be written over in the head section of the HTML. Okay, but in inline, I will write it on the in the single HTML element. Suppose I am writing over here h1, then style is equal to see style I am using here as an attribute. What is an attribute? I have taught in HTML that attribute is something that gives additional piece of information about this tag. Okay, so style is equal to color. Again the same way you will write it in the same way. This is your attribute, this is your selector, h1 is your selector, color will be blue, margin left will be 30 pixel. Now this color and blue, this is called as declaration block as discussed earlier, and this color will be property, blue will be value. Okay, then this is heading and in the paragraph. See, you have not made any changes in the paragraph. Now what output you are expecting? That on the heading tag, on the heading it will be blue color and it will be shifted to 30 left to the 30 pixels, and on the paragraph no changes will be applied. So let's have a look at the output. See, this is how you will be getting your output. This is a heading. Since in the heading you have written this is a heading, so you will be getting this is a heading and the color will be blue and it will be shifted to 30 pixels over to the left, and this is a paragraph will be written as it is, since you have not used any of the CSS over here. So this is your inline style. Inline style means if you want to apply a unique style to any a single HTML element, so inline style is always preferred. Okay, so there are three different ways in which you can use CSS for an HTML document. One was external. In the external, you will write .css file over different .css file. Then you will create your .html file. In the HTML file, you will link your .css file with the help of link tag, and then you will use it. Okay. If I am saying about internal style sheet, it means I am writing my CSS style and my HTML page in the single document. Okay. If I am saying inline style, it means I am applying my style on a single element. If on a single element I want, I will be using style as an attribute and I will use my CSS property. Okay, so these are different ways to embed your CSS styles. Now, since or for everything, for every look and feel, we are using our CSS. So CSS generates border, CSS generates margin, CSS generates cell padding, CSS generates padding, not cell padding. So we will see what are CSS borders and how we will be using it. Okay, now suppose as I have mentioned earlier that there were three selector ways in which we will select our. So over here you can see that in the style tag. So with the help of this, you are very clear that it is your internal style sheet. It is your internal style sheet. Okay, it is your internal style sheet. Okay, now in the internal, what you will be writing over here, that you have written p dot 1 is equal to border style is solid. Okay, border width is so border style and border width, they are different. These two properties you will be using for creating your borders, that is border style and border width. Okay. So you're writing p dot 1 border style is solid, border width is 5 pixel, p dot 2 border style is solid, border width is medium, p dot 3 border style is dotted, border width is pixel 2 pixels. Okay. Now again you are coming to your head, is you are closing your style tag over here and then you are closing your head tag. When I am saying about body tag, you are writing over here, you will be seeing you are writing heading the border with width property. What is your border width property? Okay, this is a simple heading tag. Then in the paragraph you have written this property specifies the width of 4 borders. So you are specifying the width of not 4, I am specifying only 3 borders. Okay, this border specifies the width of 3 borders. Okay. Now, when I am writing P class is equal to 1, as mentioned earlier, there were 3 types of selector: element selector, ID selector, and class selector. So, I am writing, if I am writing 1, that means it will be using which properties? These both properties will be used. So, in this sum text, which property will be used? This property will be used. Okay. If I am writing 2, that means this property will be used. As I have discussed earlier, that with the help of class selector we will write like this: class is equal to 1. That means it will be using this property. If I am writing 2, if I am writing 3, in this way it will be using your properties. Okay. Now see the output. See the border width property, as you have written it in your body tag, that is in heading the border width property. Then in the paragraph you have written this property specified the width of 4 borders. Now P class is equal to 1, that means it is using your class selector and it will be using your dot 1, that is dot 1 property. Okay, in this the border style will be solid, so it is solid and it has 5 pixels. It is 5 pixels broad. Okay, its width is 5 pixel. Now in the second, again you are writing in the P class is equal to 2, you are writing some text and the border style will be solid but the width will be medium. So here you are having a medium. Okay. Now if you are writing P class 3 and some text and you are writing border style is dotted, so it will come in the dot format and the width will be 2 pixels. So this is the CSS property. This is your CSS borders that you will be using. Okay. That is since you are using here in, make sure you should be very clear that you are using your internal style sheet and then you are using class selector and then you are you are letting know that how different properties will be used, how different CSS borders will be used. Okay. Now this was CSS borders. Now coming to CSS margin. Now if I want to generate some space around my element, suppose this is your CSS. Okay, you are writing your CSS over here. Now if you want to generate some space over here, so you will be writing, suppose you want to generate some space around elements, so you will be using CSS margin property. Now how you will be using, again just take a look on this program, and with this program you will be very clear how you will be writing. Again in the style tag you are writing, so this is again your internal style sheet and then you are writing in P. In one paragraph you are writing background color will be yellow, and in the second paragraph, that again you are using your class selector property. Make sure that what is class selector property, what is your ID selector, and what is your element selector. In the P.x you are writing border, then it is solid red, border, then margin top will be 100, margin bottom. Now where this P must be placed on your web page is what CSS margin specifies, where this paragraph must be placed on your web page. So you are saying then from margin, suppose this is your web, you are creating a page. Okay, now this from top, this it must be 100 pixel. Okay, then from the bottom it must be 100 pixel, then from the left it must be 80 pixel, and from the right. So over here your HTML element must be placed. This is what you are telling your this is what your HTML your CSS margin will tell. From that how you are placing your HTML element and on which place you are placing it will be useful, since it will help to generate space around your HTML elements. Okay. Now see, then you are using, again in the body tag you have used paragraph heading, paragraph, and one paragraph. In the first heading you have not used any of the CSS property. In this paragraph again you have not used any of the property, but in the second paragraph you have used the property of this property you have used. Since you have written P class is equal to X means, and it is written also over here, P class is equal to X, and this X will be, and it will take the property of this X, and this paragraph will be placed in the web page. Okay, this paragraph will contain the features of this CSS, and this heading will not contain any of the CSS property. Now let's have a look at this output. Now see, in the heading tag you are getting that in the heading you are getting using individual margin properties. I guess I am clear, you all are very clear that how this heading is displayed. Now this is a paragraph with no specified margin. Okay, so this will use which property? This CSS property. Why it will use this? Because you written this is your HTML element and this is your declaration block, so it will use this property, and it will, since you have written background color is equal to yellow, so it will be displaying it in the form of yellow. Okay, now P class is equal to X. If I am saying P class is equal to X, so it will be using this property. Okay, now it will use this property. So you have written border pixel, it will be red, so it is you're showing that it is solid red. And then if you are saying margin top easily, so from the top it will be 100 pixel, then from the left, from the right, this is where your HTML paragraph will be displayed. So this is what CSS margin tells us about, that where how you will use how you will create spaces, generate spaces around elements, and where you will place it with the help of margin top, margin bottom, margin right, and margin left. I guess I'm clear. So you have studied two more things, CSS border and CSS margin. Now coming to CSS padding. Now see, just I have opened everything just because to explain you all. If I want to add spaces between element content and element border, okay. Now suppose this is your output. Just look at the output first of all. You are creating space over here in this content. Okay. So this is what padding means. If I want to generate white spaces between inside the content, see, if I want to, the padding clears an area around the content inside the border of an element. If I want to create some space inside an element, then we will be using CSS element. Okay, now see how you will be doing it. Now see, you have written the same again. You have, this is your internal style sheet, and in this style sheet you have written as p.1 border pixel, then you have written that this pixel and solid red, and then you have written background color, padding. Now padding top, padding right, padding bottom, padding left. Now see, this is your border. You have created the border, you have created a paragraph, and that paragraph, around that paragraph you have created a border. Now you want that this border must also be written, it must have some space between them. So you are writing, so we will be using padding. Now this paragraph, this is a paragraph, and this is the properties that you have used about padding. So if you are writing padding top 50 pixel, that means it will be 52 pixel, 50 pixel. And if you are writing 30, that means the border and the paragraph will have 30 pixels in, will have 30 pixels from the bottom, this way. If you are writing padding top is equal to 50, that means 50 pixels from the top. Padding bottom 50, that means 50 pixels from the bottom. Padding right is 30 pixel, that is from the right is 30 pixel, that is this one. And if I am saying about padding left is 80 pixel, then it will be from this side. Okay, then you will close the style sheet, then you will be using heading and paragraph and this paragraph. When you are using three things, three HTML elements, you have not used any of the property on heading tag, so no properties will be used. You have not used any of the properties on the first paragraph, so but with the help of class selector property you are using the HTML property over here, so it will be displayed over here. Okay, so this is your CSS padding. So CSS padding means if we want to create a white space between the element content and the element border, so we'll be using CSS padding. Okay, so if I want to create a margin, that means on which place, if you want to generate the space between the HTML element, so we will be using CSS padding. CSS margin, if I want to create the space between element content and element border, so I will be using CSS padding. Okay, now one most important thing that comes in CSS is CSS box model. What is CSS box model? Okay, so coming to what is CSS box model, we will be studying. See, if I want to contain multiple properties, so we will be using CSS box model. So CSS box model is basically used for customizing the layout of different elements. Okay, now it is used to basically design and layout of the web page. So if I want how my web page will look, or where this element, suppose this is my web page. Okay, I'm not good at drawing. Now I want to place some element over here. I want to place some element over here. I want to place some element at the bottom. So this is how I will be. This is what CSS box model tells how the design and the layout of my web page will look. So I will be using CSS. Okay, CSS box model. So what is CSS box model? It is a container which contains multiple properties including border, margin, and padding and the content itself. Okay, now CSS box model mostly contains mostly use four properties. They are borders. Okay, as I have discussed what is border and how you will be using it. It contains margin, it contains padding, and it contains the content. This is your CSS box model. Now how it will come? First thing that which will be coming in CSS will be your, just a second. If I am using CSS, then how you will be using? See, the first will be your first, in the innermost element, where the first element will be considered as your content. Okay, content means where you are writing your text, or if you want to place some image, that will be your content. Okay, now if I am writing, then second will be padding. That means it will create a space between HTML element and the HTML, between the element and the element border. Okay, suppose it will create the space between the content and the border. Okay, now then we will have a border. Border means it will come after padding, and it will generate a border. Now margin clears an outside area. Okay, this is how you will be creating your CSS box. Okay, CSS box, it mainly contains four properties, that is content, padding, border, and margin. Content will be where you will write your text and image. Then padding, it will create a space. Then border, it will create a border. Margin, it will clear the outside space. Okay, so this is how CSS box model works, and basically CSS box model used to design the layout of any web page. Okay, so this is how you will be writing your CSS. This is your, in the style you are writing div. In the div, the division you are writing background color is powder blue, width, then width, padding, border, and margin. As I have already mentioned, CSS box model must include your border, margin, padding, and whatever properties you want to add. Okay, then you are writing this, and this again, this is your internal style sheet, and you are writing it in the style head tag. Okay, after that you will be demonstrating the box model. Then in the paragraph you have written, so it will not show. Then in the division you have written, this is your content of the box model. Now see how output will come. Now see, this is how your output, you will be getting your output. Now this output is similar to your box model. Now what is exactly, this is your box model, this is your content. I guess you are clear. This is your content, then this is your padding space, then this is your border, and this is your margin. This is how it will work. Okay, this is, just a second, I'll highlight it. Now this is your content, this area is your padding, this you have created as border, and this area is margin. This is how HTML, this is how actually CSS box model works. Okay, the content, then padding, head, padding, border, and then you are having margin. In this way a CSS box model works. So this is how you have seen in websites and different places, that in the websites, in different websites, that how different layouts and different look and feel web pages, how interactive web pages we are getting nowadays. So actually with the help of CSS box model, with the help of different CSS properties, we can enhance our web page, we can change the look and feel, we can change the layout. So various properties can be used for CSS with the help of CSS. Okay, so this is what you have studied for your CSS box CSS. Okay, now till now I am going to give a just a revision for what I have taught till to for what I have taught in this lecture. In this lecture, first of all, you have known what is CSS. CSS is basically, it is used to give look and feel to a web page. And how you will write a CSS, what is the basic rule? The basic rule will be selector will be an HTML element, then your declaration block. In the declaration block you will be having your property and value. So this is your CSS rule. Then you are having different CSS selectors. There are three different type of selector. One is element selector, one is ID selector, and one is class selector. Okay. Next thing that you have that I have taught is how you will embed your CSS into HTML. So there were three different ways to embed your CSS into HTML. One was external style sheet, second was internal style sheet, and third one was inline style sheet. Now what was again, then you have taught what is, then I have taught that what is CSS border, what is CSS padding, what is CSS margin, and the last that I have taught what is CSS box model. CSS box model, that means how you will display, how the layout of a different web page will be displayed. So this was all about CSS. Its practical will be done in my next video. Student, do watch my video for this, and if any query, just comment it in the inbox, comment it in the comment box. Okay, thank you class, and make sure to watch my practical video so that you must have a clear view of CSS. Okay, thank you class.